What started as a joke on 17th, that was on Sunday, May 2026, now it has detonated and is something big. It has escalated, especially in Nairobi, where the transport system was automatically shut down and also everything was paralyzed. And today I'm here from Kenyan Media to inform you everything that is happening in Nairobi and even the bordering counties. And if you are new here, kindly consider subscribing, liking and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new content. Now, the much anticipated Monday Maandamano started on a slow rate, but with the time it escalated, and in Thika Road, things were not okay. They were not the same again. The police vehicle was forced to go back, and the police were chased by the irate Kenyans who were there, who were calling for the reduction of the fuel prices that have surged in Kenya, making life a bit harder and also increasing the cost of living. And this indicates that in Kenya now fear is gone. You know, gone are the days when Kenyans really feared police officers. Once you see a police officer in uniform, you just take it into, or rather you just run away. When you see a vehicle, a police vehicle, a police van, people could run away. They never want, even if you are not in mistake. But today, it shows that the fear is gone, and the Kenyans now want what they are fighting for their rights, and they know what it means. Because tell me how the police officers can be chased away. These are uniformed people. In fact, they had a police car. Yeah, the GK police car, but they were forced to go back because the situation was not controlled. They couldn't even try to control the situation because the Kenyans there, the irate Kenyans who were there along Thika Road, they were so agitated following the rise and the sudden hike of fuel prices. In Withethiye, the situation equally, it wasn't such different from Thika Road, because the people there showed a lot of bravery. In fact, they chased equally police officers who were trying to reach the region, and the police went and took others. You know, they called for backup, and it was messy. Tear gas was lobbed. It was kimbi in Withethiye, where the people were calling for one term, or rather saying one term, and also calling William Ruto to make sure the fuel prices are reduced. In some other place along Thika Road, equally, we saw some, you see there's some men, some youths who are chanting one term. They are singing anti-Ruto songs. Vehicles are not passing there. Everything is in a halt. It is a total shutdown, especially in Thika Road. This tells you that, in fact, Kenyans are tired, because you tell me that there is no transport system. That means people will not be going to jobs, kids will not be going to school. Everything will be total shut down. Now, in Nairobi CBD, it is where things escalated further. It was kimbi, and the police were so keen, because in Nairobi CBD, a little mistake, people will get a lot of loss, especially the business owners, and therefore it was kimbi. There was no transport system, there were no matatus, and that made people to walk on foot. But then there are those who tried to demonstrate on the roads, and the police were there. They lobbed tear gas, so it was kimbi, people moving from one place to another, people running, tear gas, others shedding tears because of the effect of the tear gas. In Nairobi CBD, it was something else. However, some other regions equally, like the northern bypass, there was nothing happening there, only that the youth barricaded the roads, and they prevented any vehicle from passing, whether private car, whether border, nothing was passing. It was deserted, and they threw some stones on the road to block the roads, especially here in northern bypass. But then we have some other places, some other counties. But before we go to other counties, let me finish the Nairobi first. We saw Kawangware was equally like the mother of all protests. That is Kawangware. But they used to lit bonfire on the roads, they barricaded the roads. They were so angry to an extent that they never allowed anyone, whether private car, whether Githurai was the same situation. A bonfire was lit there, people chanting one term, and the people agitated, saying that William Ruto must go. And at the same time, they were calling for the government of Kenya, the incumbent administration, to make sure the fuel prices are reduced. Ongata Rongai, equally, it was it was tensed in as much as there was no bonfire. However, the matatus were not allowed, especially the people who missed that the matatus were walking, and it was like a market, a market, so tensed, but there was nothing going on. There was no bonfire, there was nothing. And Eric Omondi, the comedian, was not left behind. Today, he went with a lorry carrying empty containers, the yellow empty containers, where the containers were spread along some roads in Nairobi CBD, whereby has been calling Punguza Mafuta one time, and that was the chance, especially in Nairobi. And Eric Omondi, remember, he has been hyping this Maandamano, especially since last week when they announced of the increase of the fuel prices. He has been saying that Monday could be the day. In fact, he called this Monday Kibuyu Day, and that is the reason why he came up with those Vibuyus, a whole lorry, and spread them along the roads in Nairobi CBD. So the situation has escalated swiftly, and also things are not looking so nice. However, in some counties equally that are bordering Nairobi, things were, had escalated. In Nyahururu, they blocked the roads with the stones, and they said that there should be nothing going on, that the matatu should not be, moving. There was no private motorists. There was nothing. The region looked so deserted. Again, there's some places that they took these things so far, especially in Kitui, market called Kulundu Market, where they escalated the whole thing. Si tuliambiana ni maandamano tu, but there walienda bana wakachoma kila kitu, wakabarricade the roads, wakachoma tires za gari, and then they started chanting one time. It was unprecedented scene. Hiyo ni kutoka pale Ukambani, where Kalonzo Musyoka says it all. And then we have Kirinyaga Kutus. Here, Kirinyaga Anne Waiguru, in as much as he asked for forgiveness from Rigathi Gachagua, she thinks that she controls the ground so much. But here in Kutus, in Kirinyaga, equally things turned ugly because they lit the bonfire, the roads were blocked, nothing was going on. Things looked so messy in Kutus. And then we have Kawangware. I already said about Kawangware, where things don't look so nice, especially in that region. However, there's something that you need to note, like in Kisumu, right now, there's no Maandamano going on. Those people, they believe that now they are in government, and therefore they have no reason to, to demonstrate. Is a mentality. I don't know how it can be changed in Kenya, because we understand the Kisumu people have been number one in Maandamanos, especially when Raila Odinga was alive. But today they said that they are in government. Therefore, those in opposition, they should only come out in the streets. I don't know whether maybe Kisumu, the fuel is the same. I don't know what is happening. I don't know. Anyway, you have your opinion too. You can write your opinions down there in the comment section. Let us talk, let us discuss, because